so we can get this going. Perfect. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and start by sharing my screen. Oh my goodness. We're just so you guys know, we're just getting home from date night and all my kids are screaming downstairs while my husband is putting them to bed. So real life, if you hear that going on in the background. Can you guys see my screen? I should probably put it. Yes. Okay. I will put it on. That's not what I want. Here we go. Okay. All right, you guys, we are going to go. We're going to get started. Hopefully tag your girls or have them join in. I don't know if I'll be able to share this to the Facebook group, but we're so excited to have you here tonight. Our team name, we're called Heart and Hustle. A few of us have our own team names from it. And we're just excited to share this opportunity with you. Coming to you live is myself, Brooke, Caitlin, who is holding a 3-week-old, and Cassie. And we are just going to share a little bit about, I'll go to the next slide, our stories, like who we are, how we got started with coaching, what it has done for us, for our families, what we actually do as coaches, how we make it work as, you know, I'm personally a mom of 4. I know Cassie's a mom of 2 boys. Caitlin's a mom of 3 kids. Like Caitlin works a full-time job. Cassie and I are busy doing like things around the house. Like things are busy. Life is crazy. How do you fit one more thing in? Like we're just going to talk about like the realistic how that works and how to use social media to connect truly with a wider audience than you would have just in person, which in-person things are super, super cool. I really encourage those things as well. But then also the coach perks and how we earn, because and when this comes down to it, this is a business and you can earn money and have an opportunity to grow, a secondary income with this. So Cassie, I'm going to pass it on to you to get started about just clearing up some myths. So go ahead, girlfriend.
Hi, ladies. Thank you guys for joining us here tonight. So like Brooke said, I'm going to clear up some myths here. So I would love to hear in the chat though, as I'm going through some of these myths here, if you have one currently, or you did have one, just so then it just gives us an idea of what people think when they join or are thinking of joining an MLM, because honestly, I'll get to it here, but I had the whole pyramid scheme thought in my head when I heard of Beachbody. And you'll hear that as part of my story when I talk about my story here later, but I was really skeptical before I joined too, because like the first one here, Beachbody coaching is just another pyramid scheme. That's exactly what I thought before I started. So first off, I just want you guys to know pyramid schemes are illegal. So Beachbody has been around for 20 plus years. This is a legit company. We've never had a write-up or anything within those 20 plus years. Just to give you an idea of what a pyramid scheme is basically it's recruiting coaches only. Beachbody, what we have is we have a huge customer base. And also within MLM companies, I don't know, I guess I haven't looked into other MLM companies, but pyramid schemes, you cannot surpass the person up here. With our company, like I can pass Brooke and my coaches can pass me. Like that's how an MLM works, is you can go above the person that is above you. So that, like I said, that is a whole myth. I thought that before I joined, and it's really opened my eyes that it is not true. The second one, I don't have the money to become a Beachbody coach. So when we join as coaches, think of it this way. Everything that you invest in as a Beachbody coach, you are investing in your own health. So think about this. When we join Beachbody, we are investing in workouts. We are investing in top of the line supplements, and we're investing in, taking the time to read into personal development, grow our minds. Like it is a direct reflection on investing on our own health or within our own health. The third one, I am not fit enough to be a coach. So I get this a lot, honestly, because I talk with so many women and they're like, no, I'm not ready. I'm not at my ideal weight. Like I will not inspire anybody. Let me get to X, Y, and Z, and then I'll think about it. Let me tell you, yes, it is really cool to see people's, transformations and, where they've come from. But the whole part of this and where you really inspire people is taking them from point A to point Z. Like it is taking them through that whole entire journey. So I got into this and I honestly was inspired by people that had 30, 40 pounds to lose, who were in the thick of motherhood and had newborns. And that is more inspiring to me to watch a coach go through their transformation versus somebody that's already perfect, because that's not relatable. Like I said, it is really cool. And it's very inspiring to see somebody at their, target body weight and whatever, but it is more inspiring to see somebody work through their life and their struggles and get, to or follow them through that journey. The fourth one, I am not a salesperson and wouldn't be good with sales. So all of us here tonight, none of us went to school for network marketing, sales, none of that. We all have different degrees. We all went to school for different degrees. So I get it. I do not have a sales bone in my entire body, but what this is you are showing up and showing value. You're serving, you're not selling. So sure, maybe at the very end, like there will be a sales transaction, but you are walking with people through their entire journey. Excuse me. And just sharing your life. Like there's nothing. So I was honestly approached by Zaya when I started Beachbody, or actually not even, it was before I started Beachbody. I was approached by Zaya, which I'm sure you've all heard of Zaya at this point. And then I think it was Unique. So a couple other MLM companies, but to me, I felt like that invite when they reached out to me felt really icky, if you want to put that word on it. But with Beachbody, I feel like it is something that I truly love. And people do love, makeup and leggings and stuff, but Beachbody is something I truly love. And I'm honestly not thinking of selling things. I'm thinking about how can I serve people? How can I inspire people? And so to me, that does not feel icky or sales-like. And then the last one, I don't have the time to make this coaching business successful. So like Brooke said, she's a mom of 4. Caitlin has a 3-week-old on here and she's a mom of 3. I'm a mom of 2. The whole point of this is you make time for it if you want to make time for it. Just like anything in life, you make it a priority if you want something to happen with it. So we have all become very successful with this because we have figured out when to work this. I'll share my story a little bit later, but I started this business when I had a 5-month-old and a 2-year-old. So obviously during that time, they weren't napping at the same time. So I had to work my business and, chunks of my day and stuff. So this business is successful. You just prioritize your time for it. So next slide here. Oh, very good. Okay. So just to touch on this very quickly. So when you join our team, you will never, ever, ever feel alone in this business. The only way you feel alone is if you exclude yourself or you lean out. We have so many resources within our team pages that, somebody's always jumping on and saying, hey, like I'm gonna get a workout in, even if it's, 9 a.m. when several other ladies are at work, or people are jumping on and saying, hey, let's do a power hour together. And, the whole point of this business and what's really cool is we have an abundance mindset. We don't really hold back our knowledge from others, even with other coaches that aren't in our direct team. Like the whole Beachbody network has an abundance mindset. We aren't here to hide what we're doing. We're all here to help each other. So like, energies are contagious. Teamwork makes the dream work. I love that. And then next one. So just to give you an idea of the occupations that our team has, here's just kind of a list of some of the coaches that are on our team and what they do or what they did before they retired to Beachbody. And it's just really cool because kind of like I said, with time management and prioritizing this, we have a lot of busy ladies on our team, but they find the time to make this work. And lastly, too, here, if you look at some of these, there's a lot of health occupations on here, and it's just another, level up on Beachbody, because these are people that went to school to be doctors and nurses, physical therapists, occupational therapists, and they are looking for something that is quick and effective and top of the line supplements. Like, to have doctors and nurses and therapists trust Beachbody, it is just one extra level of accountability that this company has. So that is that. So I will stop talking.
Awesome. Thank you, Cassie. Yeah, I totally agree. I remember like when we like our team was getting going and like people were joining, like pharmacists and nurses. I'm like, and they just told me, they're like, we get that we are deficient in areas. We need, supplements to come in and nourish our bodies. And we need, like you said, quick and effective workouts. And I'm like, okay, if these people are doing it, like, this is really legit, not just for like the mom, for me, the hot mess mom at home who just needs something to work. Like, this truly does work. But just to give you a little bit background on me. So my name is Brooke Anderson. This is my family that I'm just so in love with. I actually like had not an updated picture on there, and Cassie's like, oh, you need to have Hope in there too. She was in my belly in my picture. So I have 4 kids ranging from 6, 4, 3, and then 3 months. And I have been coaching for 5 years, which always just seems so crazy for me to say, because like I literally remember like the day I signed up, all of those feelings, that first whole year, every single part of this journey, I feel like is so vivid to me, but it is also a reminder to me how fast 5 years can go. And this business, I was listening to a training today, and it was just so, he was talking about how like you come into a business in 2 ways. You're either the employee, or you have like the entrepreneurial mindset, where the employee mindset is, hey, I worked those 40 hours this week, I should get paid this next week, right? Like, I get work, I pay, I get work, I pay. And as an entrepreneur mindset, it's like, okay, there's a longer term thinking than like a week, 2 weeks. And that's exactly what this business is. 5 years into it, I'll be honest, like, I really did not see really anything business wise until I went all in after my first year of coaching. So it really wasn't until like my second year of coaching where I really saw like, hey, this is possibly going to replace my teaching income, allow me to be at home with my babies forever, allow us to have this flexible income and schedule and freedom. But it really was like, I had to really change my mindset because I wasn't seeing that initial like, oh, well, I just worked this. Shouldn't I see this next week? So just a little bit background of like my coaching story. Even though I've been for 5 years, I feel like it's been such an evolving journey along those ways. So I'm a former teacher. I taught elementary school for 5 years, and I loved teaching. It was incredible. I love little kids, until I had my first, and all of a sudden my heart was not in teaching anymore. And I think so many times it's okay if all of a sudden you have a heart change, something that is really, really great, like teaching, because we need amazing teachers. My daughter just started kindergarten this year, and I'm like, thank you for the teachers that are in school, because they're incredible. They're amazing. But for me personally, like, I just wanted to be home raising my babies, being there to help the teachers, to be there before school, to be there after school. It wasn't the calling that I felt anymore. So I was looking for another opportunity without having the sacrifice of going down to just my husband's income. So before all that, even my health journey. So I got into Beachbody almost thinking like, hey, like, I'm going to Beachbody. Like, I don't really need all those workouts. I don't need those supplements. Like, sure, I'll try them. I use them. I didn't truly realize how much I needed them, because before I started, basically for the last decade of my life, through college, through early years of marriage, my story was I was that yo-yo dieter. I was the girl who was on that roller coaster of, I could just never maintain a healthy relationship with food, with fitness, because this was the mindset that I had. I had the mindset of, okay, less food, less carbs is better, more exercise is better. And when you combine those two things, you get skinny, you look really good, really, really fast. But then when life happens and you get married and you move and you have kids and you start real jobs and the stress of everything comes, everything starts to pile on. You don't make time for exercise. You start to binge eat. You start to, not have time to just take care of yourself. And all of that weight that I had lost would come back on. And then a couple months later, I would be on the cycle of, okay, I'm going to work out a ton and not eat so much. And then of course I'd lose a bunch of weight. And that was basically my cycle for years and years and years. And by the time I got into motherhood, I was like, I want to be done with this. I don't want to be this kind of mom. I don't want to set this example for my kids. I thought I knew how to be healthy, and I did know how to be healthy, but I wasn't. And it truly was until I got into coaching, until I saw for myself that, hey, my accountability, not only to myself, but like now I have women who are trusting me to lead them in this health journey. It doesn't mean I have to be perfect by any means. I struggle still all the time, especially just after having my fourth baby. It's not fun feeling super weak in my workouts right now and struggling with the ravenous breastfeeding hungers all the times of the day. Like those things aren't fun, but by sharing those things, it holds myself accountable and it shows women like, hey, like Cassie was saying, like, hey, if she can do this, just like a regular girl, mom from the Midwest, nothing special about her. There's nothing special about me, about Caitlin or Cassie, but if she can do this, like I can do that too. And that is why I know when we have 10-star diamond coach on there, you guys probably have no clue what it means, which is totally fine. But like, it just means that like, there's been a lot of successful leaders that have risen up on our team. And it's just been so much fun to see. And we're all just really regular, normal women. So I'm going to pass it on to Cassie to just share a little bit about her.
Yes, we are. I still feel like we're such a small little Southeast Iowa team, and but we're not. We've really grown over the last few years here. So yes, hi, I'm Cassie, and I'm a wife to Zach of 9 years. We have two boys, Cole, who is 6, and Jax, who's almost 4, which is insane. But kind of like I said, a few slides ago, I started this business when I had a 5-month-old and a 2-year-old, or almost 3-year-old. So to think about that is just, it blows my mind of how this happened and how I did this. But I started this because, like it says here, I was really trying to figure out how to manage my depression. So I had a lot of postpartum depression after my second. And just kind of like we all do, we go in for our 6-week checkups, and she immediately wrote me a prescription. And I decided that day not to pursue that. I wanted it to fall back on if need be. But then, I thought to myself, what can I do for my health and fitness and, my mindset? And honestly, this was to go with the miss is I saw my coach posting stuff on social media. I reached out to her. She said it was Beachbody. And I was like, not doing that. That's a scam, blah, blah, blah. Kept trying to work through things by myself, but I was doing like Pinterest and YouTube. So there's tons of resources out there. I get that. And it's super nice. There's gyms and whatever, but the gym at that point wasn't an option for me either. I could not go during the time that the gym was open and had a class because my 5-month-old was napping at the time, and I never miss naps, and I still don't, even though my kids don't nap anymore, which is again crazy. So I tried another month by myself after I'd reached out to my coach, just navigating stuff, and I finally just threw my hands up. I said, this is not working, because I had 20 pounds to lose still at that point, and I just knew I didn't have it figured out like I thought I did. So I was like, fine, sign me up for this thing. So she signed me up, and literally, so I signed up as a challenger for only 1 week, because after that first week, I was like, holy cow, I feel amazing. I have so much energy. What I was really missing though was the accountability that this provided. So obviously no YouTubers checking in on me, no Pinterest workouts checking in on me. Even at the gym, no one was checking in on me. People were literally checking in on me if it was like 2 p.m. some days, and they were like, where are you? Did you get your workout in? Are you okay? Did the kids sleep? Like, people, there was only 6 of us, I think, in this first challenge group that I was a part of. But people were really checking in on me and I really felt like they cared. So that really flipped a switch in me, that I was thinking, wow, if I needed this and I've really benefited from this for just 1 week, who else needs it? And from there on out, that was my mission, was just to inspire, young moms to, take control, and, they matter. They are the most important person in their family. I don't know if Josh was just right by you right now, Brooke, but I do. Moms are the most important factor, I feel, in the family. I just knew that was my mission from there on out. And then week 2 of Beachbody, I signed up to be a coach, and kind of the rest is history. So that is my story.
All right, I get to go next. I had to hand off the 3-week-old because I was not only getting really, really hot, but the feeling when you breastfeed and you're holding a baby, and I was like, I can't, this is too much. So TMI, but the baby is with dad. So thank you, ladies, for being here. I am Caitlin. I have been a coach now, just circled around on a year. And I am a mom of 3. So I'm married to my husband, Ben. He is a firefighter, and then I work full-time as a physician assistant. I work in pediatrics in kind of like a procedural setting. And I have 3 kids. I don't know, I didn't make the picture, but we have a 3-year-old Charlie. Jack is going to be 2 here this winter, and then John is 3 weeks old. So we are busy, as we all are. And like I said, I joined about a year ago. So similar to Brooke's story, I would say I was kind of this like all in, all out person when it came to my health. I have the ability to like jump into something and commit from day one, 100%. And so, I did athletics through college, and I was always really committed through there. And then when that ended and I stopped coaching, I kind of flipped the switch. I was completely all out. I was in school full-time for PA school, and I would say there was no health and fitness involved in that part of my life. And then Ben and I, we end up dating, get engaged, and I'm in wedding mode. So I'm back all in, and then post-wedding all out. And then we have kids. And so it was just like Brooke was describing, kind of this constant cycle of, when I did it, I felt like I kind of knew what I was doing, but there was no consistency and there was no convenience. And anytime anything hard came along, it was the first thing off my plate, was taking care of myself. And so I actually started my journey a little bit by myself beforehand. So I was postpartum with Jack. We had a 15-month-old. Well, I guess Charlie would have been 18 months old, and a 3-month-old. I was getting ready to go back to work, and I just kind of decided that I was sick of this feeling of nothing being about mom. Like nothing was about me in my whole entire day. And I was about ready to add work on top of it, where again, nothing is about me. And so I linked arms with my sister, and we did, an at-home program. This was during COVID. So even the idea of going to a gym wasn't there, but add in the pandemic, and it definitely wasn't there. And we did 21-day fix, and, overlaying all of this, I'd been following along, watching Brooke, and I'd received multiple invites, as I bet a lot of us have, to different companies and different Beachbody coaches. And I just always had this feeling of no, until I found the people who felt like this is who I'd want to do it with. And for me, that was Brooke. And I have no idea how we got linked up, but I followed along for a while, and I was doing my own thing in the background with Beachbody. And I just remember, I always joke that it was the perfect storm. So I had killer results with my sister. I loved us working together, and we were checking on each other and how are things going. Meanwhile, Brooke was like sharing about her journey, and she decided to go on this amazing trip that she had earned. And I'm watching, and I have all this like, oh my gosh, I want to be there, because nobody sends me on trips. I don't know about you guys, but there are no all-inclusive, all expense paid trips happening for this mom, not my job at least. And so mixing all those things together, I knew it worked. I was watching and felt like, why not? Add in a little bit of liquid courage, and it was the perfect storm. So I reached out to Brooke. She was flying home from her trip, and I was like, hi. Literally, I looked back. She had messaged me like a bazillion times. I don't think I'd even ever said anything to her. And I was like, hi, how much does it cost to join? And then she said a couple more things. I was like, I don't want to coach. Instant buyer's remorse the next morning, woke up and was like, what are you doing? Didn't tell my husband for a week, but fast forward a year. Like I said, I'm kind of that all in person. So I jumped all in from day one. And it's definitely ebbed and flowed as life has thrown things at me. But I've always, one thing that I, am good at and pride myself on is I decided from the beginning that this was about me, and I was going to show up for myself because I was important in our family, and I was important for our children, and I needed to take care of me. And I've always kind of kept that at my base as I walk through this. And so when things get hard and I need to step back a little, I have, but it's been really, really awesome watching what this has done for me. I've now for a year worked out other than postpartum. I have exercised or done something for myself every single day for like 18 months. Even if it's 20 minutes, I am eating consistently better rather than, going through those cycles of good and then binging and good. I have now surrounded myself with 70 women that I otherwise would never have had in my corner. And so it's just added a lot more things to my plate than I could have imagined. And I think that's something to keep in mind too, because being a mom, not only of 3 kids and working full time outside of the home, it can feel like, why would I ever add something to my plate? But, at least for me, this provides so much more than that. And, there's always the talk of different things like income and things, but I think the biggest thing is just the community and support, and also this ability to keep showing up for myself every day. So that's me. Do I still keep ice? This is still me, right? So I have the joy of talking to you about social media, which always cracks me up because I remember when I signed up, we all probably felt this way, but like I was the most non-existent person on social media outside of the very infrequent, like, here's a picture of my cute kids, please comment. And then I spent the whole day thinking about how many likes I got. And it was just a very like selfish relationship. I never commented on people's stuff. I was just like, you would never picture I'd be using social media as like a storefront. But that's come full circle because I think, the cool thing is that we've learned that this is such an awesome tool to have in our back pockets because it is our storefront. It is how we connect with women and people that are not only in our circle, but we're going to add to our circle. And it's there for free. Its reach is vast. The tools are changing all the time and it can feel overwhelming, but if you let it be just what it is, it also can be really awesome. So this just talks about, and this is one of the things actually that I put a lot of emphasis into probably the last 6 months, is using this platform as an opportunity to share about not only Beachbody and workouts if they're fitting into your day and working for you, but also the other things in your life. And you're just kind of sharing the things that you love as you would food, as you would a movie that you went to, makeup, your children, different things, all of the things that we love and add to our life, we share. And for me, this is no different. Does it feel awkward sometimes? Absolutely. I would be the first person to tell you. Sometimes I'm like, I don't know, but it's a part of my day that adds to my plate. And why wouldn't I share that with somebody else? So, the one thing is you have, I guess, these are kind of like, this is kind of a breakdown of the different people that you're going to have in your pocket. So you're going to have your people who have been there maybe from the start or that become involved early on, and they're your people, they trust you, and they're showing up and they may support you. For me, these are actually the fewest of the people that join me, but they tend to be the people that support me and thank me for showing up. And then maybe they're the compliment givers then, but then you have the compliment givers as well. And these are the people that are telling you that this matters to them. And I think of these more than just, like she said, likes and thank yous. These are the people that say, because you got up this morning, I also got up this morning and worked out. Or because you can do this with a newborn, I decided that I'm not going to let myself not be important. They make those comments, and those are the people that you're having conversations with. And you're kind of fostering these conversations and relationships that are going to lead to the trust that they need to say, this seems like something that can work. Can I join you? Or you're asking, would you like to join? And they feel like, you know what, Caitlin's been kind of in my back pocket. She's been in the background. She's been supporting me. I don't necessarily reach out to everyone like, hey, jump in with me. It's more if seeing people doing things that you're proud of, telling them that you're proud of them as well, and being that kind of two-way relationship. And I think the biggest one that I was so worried about that I thought was going to be the vast majority were the eye rollers. And it's funny because they're really not the vast majority. It's a very, very small number. And I was that person. Every single time I post something or share something or invite, I remind myself that I was the eye roller. I was the person who was like, oh my gosh, everyone's doing this, blah, blah, they just want X, Y, and Z. And now it's funny because being in this position, I've realized, one, the reason everyone's doing it for the most part is because it works and there's something here and they want to share that with people, the people that come from a good place. There are those people that maybe don't do it the right way, but that's on them to decide how they do it. So it's really limited. It's kind of lessened that fear of the people that might be like, ugh, I'm so sick of hearing about this, or oh, another person doing this, because whether or not they agree or how they feel about it says nothing about the fact of what it adds to your life and what it could add to somebody else's life. And so, like she just says, we share that unapologetically and we just keep showing up. Next slide. So some of the sharing examples, and I love that mine with my naked kid minute. This is total mom moment. I actually forgot to pack clothing and I thought there's no way that in the hour trip to see dad, stop in for 20 minutes. I should know better. I have 3 children. Like this isn't first time. Literally pulled him out of the car seat with a blowout. So, but we are just sharing kind of real everyday pieces of our lives and mixing in with that the fact that workouts are there and different things are there. But to be really honest, and all of us would say this is what people connect with. This is what people can relate to. This is what starts those conversations in the background. I would say 99% of my conversations start over children, coffee, sleep deprivation right now, or people not washing their hair. Like that's what's in my direct messages right now, are like just hot mess lives. And then a lot of people that talk to me about my PA profession. So go ahead. And then sharing glimpses of food. So we have, all of this access, not only to recipes, but things that we're sharing with each other. And of course we are promoting a balance, and part of that balance and part of those results are eating well. But we also indulge as well. So we're sharing those things through our day. We're sharing how we're using the recipes that we have or how we prep for the week. Simple things to provide people access so that they can be successful as well. And I'm assuming those were all Brooke because they all look really pretty. I was just saying today, I gotta take prettier pictures of my food. I'm so proud of it. And I look at it, I'm like, who would make that? But that's me right now. So we share our workouts. I think this is the part that people have hesitation about. And I did too, until I went through 3 or 4 programs and realized this works. And to question that anymore is just a waste of my energy. And if I'm doing it and I love it, I can share that for 15 seconds of my day or 30 seconds of my day and mix it in. And it's surprising actually how many people do, once the connection starts over one of the things before, then this works itself in there. Like, oh, and by the way, what have you been doing? Or just so you know, I've been working out too because X, Y, and Z. So we share our workouts as well. This one's big for me. So I was like the person that I signed up, I sent my products, I was going to send them back before I even tried anything. And then I realized that, again, I'm an all-in person, so I'm going to give these things a try. And it's been so funny how they have fit into my life seamlessly. I probably don't do the best of sharing actually how important they are, because for me right now, it's like something to eat at dinner time, because if my husband's on shift, I'm telling you, I have zero desire to eat. I'm covered in baby and just different things. And so for me, that's been my shakes. But the way that we mix this into our day, at least most of us, is it's not necessarily, setting it down and saying, this is X, Y, and Z, this is Shakeology, this is whatever, but showing how this is the kickstart for our workout. This is my survival drink to do my 17th load of laundry. This is how I show up for myself in the morning, showing the access that we have to the nutrition programs. And again, shake for dinner, different things just to show that this fits in, because we do live very nutrient depleted. And I think people get scared of products. I was that way. How do you know what's there? But there is a lot to offer here. And the way that we share them is more how they fill those gaps in everyday life. Okay, that's social media. So,
Yay. Thank you, Caitlin. Love it. And you know what? For a 3-week deprive, like I don't think I was forming like sentences that made sense when I was 3 weeks postpartum. So like I feel like we just need to give you a hand clap because you're rocking it, mama. But since this is a business, we talked about like the coach myths, we talked about like the things you share on social media. We're not, like, to echo Caitlin, we're not a walking Beachbody billboard. Like in those product plugs and the workouts, you don't see us like, here's our Shakeology cup and here's a pic. Like we don't have those selfies because that's not what people want to see. They just want to see like, how do you actually fit this in your life? And like, how do you make it work for you without just, we don't want to just be doing this to earn a buck, because ultimately we just want people to feel good and see the results they want to see. And the beautiful thing is it can be a business. And I truly think this is a beautiful business model when you work on yourself and you are the healthiest version of you and help others do so, that you can earn an income from it. So coach perks, the discount, that's the first and foremost thing that you need to know and you need to jump on if you are a customer right now, and or maybe you're just listening to this for the first time and you've tried Shakeology or you're using it, you've used Energize. As a coach, we get 25% off discount on all products, which is huge, on Energize, Shakeology, 3-Day Refresh, Hydrate, Beach Bars, Collagen, like all the amazing things that we that just help our life be a fraction tidbit easier. We get 25% discount. So that is incredible right there. We also get 25% commission on any products that we sell. So even if you join and you're like, hey, I don't know if I want to like go full in with this coaching business, I just want this discount. Well, if your mom or if your sister, or if your neighbor or coworker, like, hey, can I get on in on this? You help them get started, you're going to get 25% commission baseline. Like some of them are even higher than that baseline, to help them get started, which is just really, really cool when you start to help like the people closest to you. And I know, like personally speaking for myself, like watching my mom and family members and cousins and neighbors and former coworkers, since I'm not a teacher anymore, but like former coworkers even become healthy. It's like, this is really, really cool when you start to see that effect. And then also like, hey, because I help them get started and they're feeling amazing, I get 25% commission off of that. But then there's also, I'm 5 years into this. I'm proud to say that like I've replaced my teaching income 2 years into this, which that was like my really, really big, scary goal. So 3 years later, like my income is way more than I could have ever imagined, but that's not because I'm getting all these 25% commissions, right? Commissions are great and we love them and I'll take them any day. But the big, big part of this business is the next part, which is the team cycle bonus. I'm going to just like briefly explain it. But if you want to learn more about it, we have videos, we have trainings that really deep dives, because this is truly where the bulk of our earning comes in. So the team cycle bonus is when you are a coach, you get signed up to be a coach, you are the head of your organization. We are a binary system. So we have two sides. We have a right side and we have a left side. And when you become an Emerald coach, that's the first rank you can hit. An Emerald coach means that you have one coach signed up on your left leg and one coach signed up on your right leg. Poof, you're Emerald. You'll get shouted out in the team page. You will get a prize from your coach. Like, it's just a fun first rank to hit. But also now you qualify for the team cycle bonus, which is measured through volume. And it's a bonus that you get depending on how your team below you is doing. So just to briefly explain it to you, every product in our product library has a volume number attached to it. Shakeology, for example, is 90 volume. Energize is 38 volume. I think Hydrate is around 30 volume. Everything has a volume number attached to you. So I talked about you have a left leg and you have a right leg. Well, it's a 200, to 100 ratio. Anytime there's 200 on one leg, it doesn't matter which leg it is, or 100 on the other, a team cycle bonus happens and you get $14 put in your bank account. That is nothing that has happened because you sold anything or have done anything. That is just what's going on your team. So just for an example, and then I'm going to move on. Let's say that you sign up 2 or 3 coaches on one of your legs, like your right leg. So, and a few of them are ordering Shakeology and Energize. So you have like 200-300 volume from these products. And then you have the other leg where you've signed up maybe 1 or 2 coaches, or even more, and they have ordered a couple things. And so anytime there's 200 on one side, 100 on the other, $14 happen, and that goes directly into your bank account. And the really, really cool thing is about this, like when I first started out, that $14 like was very, very minimal. I may have seen that maybe once a month, but still it was super cool. I'm like, okay, $14. I didn't do anything. Like I didn't sell anything. That's just what's going on below me on my team. It's in my bank account. Cool. And then as our team started to grow, I'm like, okay, I $14 a couple times a month. Okay. $14 a couple times a week. Okay. $14 a couple times a day. And as you grow and rank, that $14 actually can grow as high as $18 per cycle bonus. And that is where the bulk of your income can truly come from. If you want to make this a full-time business, as your team grows, that team cycle bonus grows, which is really, really cool. We also have, like Caitlin talked about, incentive trips, because for a lot of us, we don't have those opportunities to, one, go on free trips, let alone have them be all inclusive where you don't have to plan or travel or do anything. I feel like I just planned a trip for a family to Florida, and like I was the person I had to figure out flights, I had to figure out food, I had to figure out planes, and like just all those things. And with Beachbody trips, I'm like, I think we take it for granted now, or at least I do. Like all of those things are taken care of, and it's such a fun thing to go on. So we have a few incentive trips to all inclusives. A group of us are going to Punta Cana in this upcoming March 2022. There's also a big trip that happens in middle of the summer, which is our big annual coach get together where we all get together. It's actually in St. Louis this year. So there's a lot of fun trips, and we just wrapped up one. A lot of you probably saw in Florida. A lot of our leaders, sadly, Caitlin wasn't there because she was about to pop a baby. We were in Florida for our leadership retreat. And so those are just really, really fun things. If you're not a big traveler, of course you don't have to go, but like we have such a fun time. We work out. We dive into just like growing ourselves, having a good time, and just going somewhere new, exploring the world. I know for me, that was super attractive, and it still is super attractive as like when I was a stay-at-home mom, like looking for what I wanted to do to provide an income for my family. I'm like, oh, I can earn an income, I can work on myself, be healthy, and I can go on trips. Like that was enough for me to get started and at least try it out. And then gifts and rewards, Beachbody. And I personally think our team it's a very strong suit that we have. They truly see the small efforts that we make every day and reward you for them. If you help a certain amount of people each month, they will send you gifts. Or your coach, if you help a certain amount of people, or if you rank advance, there's always just rewards and gifts, which I truly think, coming from a teacher, sometimes, of course, teaching is such a, you get those internal rewards knowing that you've helped the kids, but I'm also such a, I thrive off of gifts, not them so much the materialistic thing, but just like, wow, they saw that small thing that I did. And even though it's not really small, they saw the hard work I put into it, and they're rewarding you with something really, really cool. That just speaks volumes, that they truly see even the smallest acts that you do. Okay, so this just goes to show a few of our in-person fun that we have, from the beach to wintertime get-togethers to going to the desert. It's just, I love anytime we get together, and never, even if like there's a brand new girl there, like I feel like immediately, like 5 minutes in, she's like, you guys just feel like you're my long lost sisters that I could hang out with forever. It's really, really almost scary how like our team just like comes together, and it's like, how have we not known each other our whole life when it truly feels like we have? So we have a blast when we're together. Never be scared about that. And then just a little bit, just on the income progression, we don't share numbers anymore, because truly that is something Beachbody has, just to be honest and straightforward, Beachbody has said like, hey guys, to protect your jobs and to protect, just our network marketing company, like it is better that we don't share our numbers, so that we don't portray like, because some companies have gotten in trouble for saying like, hey, sign up with us and you're going to make $1,000. Like, that usually doesn't happen like within the first month. So really they've just said like, share the things that this has done for your family with your income. So that is what we put together, just a few slides just to show you. I know for myself, you can see it like when I was getting started, really all I could cover the first month, which is a big deal for us, was I covered my products, my business fee, and some diapers, maybe even some trips to Target. Like that was a really, really big deal where like I didn't have to tell my husband like, hey, yeah, I blew, $200 when you go into Target on things, but like my Beachbody money like covered that. And then a couple of years later, I was able to replace my teaching income and then also add on our groceries because of coaching. And then this last January, with my coaching income, I was able to take my family to Florida. We were able to max out both of our retirement funds for the entire year. We were able to do our house payment for that month and like do my kids' swim lessons, which, like, saying that out loud, I don't want it to be a bragging thing at all. It's just, I want you to see like the possibility of what you can do this. I never, ever would have thought I would have been able to do all of those things ever. And this is just like 5 years in what you can do when you stay consistent with it. And so Caitlin and Cassie also put income progressions together. Cassie's been a coach for 3 years, so you can see hers, how they've just grown over time. And then Caitlin, 1 year in, again, like I talked about at the beginning of this, that employee mindset versus that entrepreneurial mindset, like you're not going to see those immediate gains right away, but this is a growth over time. And if you trust the process, just like your health journey, I think that's why coaching is so beautiful, because you're, just with your health journey. I just started Transform 20 with a few of you on here, and it's like, it is so hard and it sucks right now. But I know if I keep putting in the work and I keep putting in the time, like it's not a ton of time, it's 20 minutes a day. Same with coaching. If you just put in a little bit of time every single day, like the compound effect truly adds up, and it is a beautiful thing and could truly just not only help your health, but help out your family or just yourself in your future. Okay, so why we just think you can do this too. Like you said, anyone can do this. The hot mess mom, the full-time working mom, the dog mom, like this is for everyone. And I truly think you don't have to have a sales bone in your body. You just have to share something that you've personally have seen for yourself works. Social media truly makes it easy. We don't have to go out and buy a plot of land, a business center, put $100K down loan. We can go out and start a business for social media for free, right? Like it is pretty incredible the access that we can have. We just have to be brave enough to go and do it. All the support you need, you will get from our team. You will get from your coach who signs up with you. We have trainings, we have guides. The whole Beachbody company as a whole has so many trainings and guides. Like there's so many trainings at your fingertips. We have weekly team calls. Like you will never be alone if you want to do this. So what's next? So if, you don't have to make any decisions tonight, but if you're like, hey, this sounds like something that is up my alley that I am ready for, basically the next step is, if you have not gotten started on your own personal health and fitness journey with that is the next step. Get access to the workouts, get Shakeology, Energize, Recover, or at least some of those things, and get involved in our community and see for yourself. I always say, like, your transformation, your personal testimony is your business card. So that is where you need to start. If you have been doing those things, then your next step is just to upgrade now from a customer to a coach. Your coach, when you purchase a challenge pack right now, they're $140, like a crazy, crazy deal for an entire year of workouts, plus your first month of supply of stuff. it is $0 to start this business. So I highly encourage you to just jump in, get started. There is nothing, like Cassie said, to lose in this, because everything you're investing in this business, you are directly investing in yourself. Okay. So I know we've went over a little bit of time. I apologize, but we just wanted to give you all of the things. I'm going to stop sharing, and I just want to ask is there any questions that you guys have? If so, you can unmute yourself or you can drop it in the chat right now. And Caitlin and Cassie, if you guys can think of anything else you want to add. I'm also, just to respect your time, I was going to do a big raffle right now, but I'm going to take a picture of this and do a raffle for everyone who's stuck on here tonight. Because I know it's Thursday night. We're all tired. We want to go to bed, but we appreciate you guys sticking on here. We're going to do a raffle of collagen, our tub of collagen tomorrow. So if that's not all, thank you guys so much for joining us, and reach out to your coach. Reach out to Caitlin, me, Cassie. We're happy to answer any questions and see if this is a good next step for you. So thank you guys for joining. See ya.